you get 30% more power and 20% more torque and a 6-speed gearbox. Just under 95 kmph, and there are absolutely no vibrations from the handlebar, the seat, the tank or the foot pegs. This is the kind of height you can take the bike into without having the fear of getting water into the exhaust pipe right over here. Finally, a 200cc motorcycle that does not look small in front of my large frame. Welcome back to 91 Wheels. My name is Punia and this is the heavily updated Xpulse / the Xpulse 210. I've just come back from a morning ride across multiple different terrains and I have a smile plastered on my face for the right reasons. And I promise you, all your questions regarding this bike will be answered in this detailed video. We have the top speed run for you. We have the 0 to 60, 0 to 100, top speed in each gear, the riding parameter across city roads, no roads, trail riding, and of course highway touring as well. Is this bike the ultimate long distance adventure companion under 2 lakh rupees in the Indian market? Big question, but a proper answer by the end of this video. Now, one of the most important things in the new Xpulse has to be its heart. It might be only 10cc extra for you in terms of displacement, but hear me out. You get 30% more power and 20% more torque and a 6-speed gearbox. These things alone on paper make the bike so much more impressive. But how is it in real world conditions? Well, for starters, let me show you how quick the motorcycle is. I weigh over 100 kgs and I managed to do a proper run from 0 to 60, 0 to 100, and I also have the top speeds in each of the gears, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. In the 6th one, I was running out of road and yet we managed to see this figure for you guys.
First gear.
So yes, definitely for a 200cc adventure bike, this is quick. With a light rider and given the road, this will do 140 plus, which also means it can sit all day long at triple-digit speeds, but that at a later stage. Now, the tank can hold 30 liters of fuel, and you will ask me the kind of economy we have been getting. Well, I haven't ridden the bike with a light right wrist. I've been doing various kind of runs off the road, city for the shoot, highway runs, and of course the top speed runs as well. Even then, for the entire day, we rode the bike for 138 kilometers and it turned 32 kmpl. That's impressive because we were gunning the bike at a lot of times. But for the last 44 kilometers, when I was slightly easy on the throttle, I had a mix of highway at 80-85, then city coming into this hotel in the heart of Udaipur for 44 kilometers, 38 kmpl. So definitely, if you ride the Xpulse with the light right wrist, if you're gentle on the wrist, you can get 40 kmpl. At highway speeds of 80-85 with the pillion, 36-38 kmpl is what you can get. So in terms of touring from the tank, if you use 10 liters of fuel, you will be stopping every 380 to 400 kilometers for a tank up, which is good enough. So yes, performance out of the way, the economy out of the way. Now I talk about an important parameter. And that parameter is about the Xpulse family. You see, the normal Xpulse 4V will remain on sale because that is cheaper by 25,000 rupees. And that bike in itself is a very capable all-rounder in terms of the off-road ability and the touring ability. This one is 25,000 rupees more expensive, but you do get a lot of motorcycle for your value. For the Xpulse 210, again, you have two versions, a base and a higher. This one, the difference is 10,000 rupees, and for that amount of money, you get a lot of add-ons. First are the knuckle guards right over here. B is this windshield. C is a proper information-laden and a good-looking LCD screen right over here. Next is the dual-channel ABS, and you also get a proper rack where you can put a top box as well. So two versions, difference being 10,000 rupees, but you do get a lot of bike for your money. Of course, like the earlier version, you can invest into extra add-ons from the company itself to up the quotient for off-roading, including the knobby tires, something that has been on display at a different area in the same hotel as well. So you have the 4V, you have the 210 in two versions, and of course you have a lot of add-ons including knobbies, and you also get panniers, a top box, and the luggage rack as well. So Hero is ensuring a lot of official accessories that you can purchase at the time of purchasing the motorcycle and be sorted with the overall quality. After this, I want to talk about the other aspects that you get with the 210. For starters, something I have not seen in any other bike, it has to be the grab handle right over here. This is very, very essential. Suppose you are stuck in the middle of nowhere or in a water crossing or a slush, other people around the area, your biker friends, for example, they can use this to pull you out very, very easily. This comes in handy. The windshield has gone up slightly up as compared to the earlier model, but me being 6 feet tall, even at highway speeds, this was not doing its job properly to keep the wind away from my chest and my helmet. But if you are anyone who is 5'9", 5'10", this will do a very good job. Next, they have altered the seat as well for the overall comfort of the rider and the pillion. Plus, this area is slightly narrower, which aids a lot in terms of riding the bike on the pegs, standing on the pegs off the road. It's a slimmer area over here. Ditto in traffic conditions. This is a tall bike, so if you're 5'9", 5'10", the slim area will definitely help you. I stand 6 feet tall and I'm able to place my legs firmly, my feet firmly on the ground. So even if you are 5'9", 5'10", this bike will not give you any reason to complain. What else has changed? Well, right over here, you do have this beak coming in. You have proper LED lights, which I'll show you right now in terms of the illumination in the dark. We started off before sunrise, and I tried to show you the illumination of the lights as well. They work like a charm.
Now this is on the light of the Xpulse, high beam, low beam, and you can make out if I switch off the bike and if I go back in, this is the kind of light this throws. Low beam, high beam, low beam.
The frame is new. It's a semi-cradle setup with the engine sitting right over here. Engine, I've told you, is from the Charisma. The exhaust has gone up slightly to ensure you can go deep into water crossings, like for example, crossing rivers or your long flowing drains in the middle of nowhere. This is the kind of height you can take the bike into without having the fear of getting water into the exhaust pipe right over here. This is solid metal. You can use this to put your panniers, your top box as well. And of course, you get guards over here and a metal bash plate right over here. Tire size remains same. It's a 21 front and an 18 rear. That opens up a world of options for you to get better tires in case you want. Of course, these are dual purpose tires, but they do the job very well at highway speeds and in city roads as well. Dual channel ABS, you have the ABS modes, the road, the trail and the off-road. In the trail, the rear ABS goes off, so you can lock the rear wheel, but in the off-road, both the ABS will go out. Of course, both the front and the rear disc, they are pedal type, so the heat dissipation is very, very quick and is better than the normal disc brakes. Now, time to tell you how the bike feels like in terms of riding. First, I'll talk about the city and the B roads, the countrysides, and then I'll talk to you about the highway manners, and then a lot of trail riding on the Xpulse was done as well. How is the bike? Let's start that important section for you.
Is the best way to enjoy a motorcycle early morning. The sun is not out yet. Countryside roads, no traffic, hills for company. What a way to start the ride. In fact, when we started off, it was dark. Wow, what a view. So when we started, it was dark, and lovely headlights of the Xpulse Great roads. Look at this. So even though you're on a adventure bike with the increased travel suspension, you can really go into corners without feeling nervous. It does take care of undulations in a nice manner. The travel soaks up any bumps, unwanted mid-corner issues. It just soaks up, and yet you can push it because the tires are nice. Good job with the tires in terms of dual purpose abilities. And look at this, I'm in the 6th gear at 55. There is so much punch. The bigger rear tooth really helps a lot to aid low end and mid range, which is essential if you're off-roading or just enjoying the countryside roads. But it has a second nature, and that is when the revs go high. For example, let me just power out. Once the RPM goes high, this engine was actually in a sportier model of Hero. Once the RPM goes high, you do have that punch coming in, but again, the mid-range and low range is something, low end is something you will love while just enjoying biking in the middle of nowhere. We have the GPS on. We don't know where we're going. Should be a nice location, but for now, enjoying the extra travel suspension and the improved low end and the mid range. Fantastic. Once again, I'm assuming you can also hear the engine scream and the motor scream. And talking of screaming, the overall NVH levels are sorted. For majority of the rev range, you don't have any unwanted vibrations coming from the handlebar or the foot pegs, and that is a very nice thing. If you are touring long distances, which I'll show after a while as you proceed towards the highway, if you're touring for long distances, that should be a very welcome thing from the Xpulse. Otherwise you're left with, you know, not numbness, but not so happy fingers and your hands if the vibrations come in or the foot pegs. So that is a smooth trait of the Xpulse. Isn't that we all live for the sunrise views, for the views going into the valley? What a great place and a hidden gem just outside of Udaipur. Lovely.
The good news for highway riding, up to approximately 6,500 RPM, the NVH levels, the noise, vibration, harshness levels are well under control. You do have a very smooth nature in the motorcycle. At that RPM, you are just under 95 kmph, and there are absolutely no vibrations from the handlebar, the seat, the tank or the foot pegs. However, if you want to go faster, as you near the 7,000 mark or 100 kmph as per display in the 6th gear, vibrations start getting in. So yes, you can be at 110 all day long, but the vibrations might bother you. If you slow down to 90-95, that is a sweet spot for motorcycle. Of course, I told you that given with my weight and a short straight we had, it did 138, which also means you can cruise at 100 all day long and yet have enough juice in the motor to overtake faster moving cars / bikes on the highways or expressways. So even the highwayability of this motorcycle has gone up. And now about the important trail riding. With this motorcycle, you get extra amount of travel up front and at the rear. Look at this. This is pretty sorted up front and at the back as well. This is the linkage type suspension and it does the job fairly well. I didn't go into hardcore off-roading, but we had our fair bit of stint off the road and trails as well, and this is how the Xpulse performs like. The Xpulse 210 may be heavier by 10 kgs, but it's got 5 bhp more and 3 Nm of extra torque, thanks to the Charisma engine. Plus a bigger rear sprocket and a new frame and bigger forks. So does all this make a difference? Hell yes. I was indulging into off-roading after months and yet the X210 felt at home. For example, the standing on the peg stance was comfortable and even going faster on the dirt section proved easy. The X210, as I call it, also helped me climb to the other side of the lake. The view from here was fantastic. And slower narrow tracks too were easy thanks to the extra low end torque. Most slow sections could be done in the second gear itself. Lastly, if you do decide to go faster on no roads, the tires provide fantastic grip, and this infused a lot of confidence into me. The X210 or the new Xpulse 210 is definitely fun. By the way, a bonus tip for you guys. What happens if I have a friend sitting behind me? For that, Pearl will join me from Dry Spark, a very, very good biker as well. And so I stand 6 feet tall. I have a 6'1" behind me. And I think we do have a few inches of space left between us. So not too close, right?
Yes.
Overall, how do you feel?
I feel little comfortable, but my back is almost touching the rear. That rack is there, right?
But is that useful for you to hold?
Yeah, it is useful. I mean, not that comfortable, but yeah, you can. But
You can also notice that his knees are filtering into my thighs. So in traffic condition, it will be slightly difficult if I have someone who's 6'1" behind me. But nevertheless, for a 200cc motorcycle, it feels sizable, right?
yes,
So it's
like my seat is very comfortable. I'm able to sit properly. Even I'm bigger size, still I'm able to sit over there.
I told you in the starting, very rare we see a small capacity bike being so large. Thank you so much, Pearl. By the way, you can see his stunts, his review, his opinion about the Xpulse on Dry Spark as well. Thanks. And that brings us to the end of this video. 220 millimeters of ground clearance, just a few extra kilos as compared to the normal Xpulse. 10 more cc, 30% power, 20% torque, a 6-speed gearbox, improved highway manners, more tech, it's safer, dual channel ABS, various modes for the ABS, and a proper screen right over here. This thing is definitely worth the extra money you'll be paying over the Xpulse 4V. The pricing is the sweet spot as well, 1.75 lakh rupees for the base and 1.85 for the fully loaded, the one you see right over here. Under 2 lakh rupees as your adventure companion and a long distance tourer as well. I see nothing wrong with this motorcycle. The pricing is terrific. Hero's network, a good motor right over here, and hardly any shortcomings. Of course, if you're gunning the motorcycle over 7k RPM, the vibrations might creep in, but otherwise, I seem to find no fault with this bike. It took time coming, but definitely something you can explore by going into a showroom near you. By the way, it will not be sold via the normal Hero outlets, only through the premier outlets, which are increasing all over India. As I speak, approximately 70 outlets have opened up in India, and the same outlets also have other options like the Maverick, the Harley 440, and of course the Zoom 160. Anything I've left about the motorcycle, please let me know in the comment section below. And of course, very soon, we also ride the fastest, the quickest 250cc bike in India from the world of Hero, the Hero Xpulse 250. That's a different video that comes on our channel as well. For the notification, do subscribe and hit the bell icon as well. But for now, this is a commendable job by Hero, and next year they get a bigger Xpulse as well. Yes, that's a strong hint from all of us at 91 Wheels.